Greetings, this is Berto, and we're back for another episode of 80 Days. So in the last episode, I apparently got high against my will, and I was sent to Japan. So we'll kind of figure out what to do from here. Before we go anywhere, I should remember to actually set my timer. Otherwise, I won't know how long this episode is. And I know every episode I say, ooh, I gotta set my timer. Okay, let's do this. So, we'll sleep one day. Mr. Fogg was nowhere to be seen. I curled up alone on a street corner, penniless, destitute, the worst kind of rogue. Okay, this sucks. New routes. I don't have any money, so this is completely pointless to me. Unless that's Mr. Fogg arriving. That'd be great if it was. I joined the circus. That was sensible. I quickly realized that the matter of how to find my master was entirely secondary to the larger question of ready funds. And ready funds were the sharp-eyed puppeteer of the traveling circus. Alright, I volunteered myself to... no, I'll swallow fire while perched atop a horse, because that sounds badass. Was indisposed with what the proprietor assured me was a merest touch of cough. The Russian horse trainer crossed herself as I began to practice. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. A few singeings later, it was time for my first performance. I decided to focus on staying firmly on the horse, which was a solitary choice, as my assigned teed was a frothing demon of an equine with a murder in her rimmed eyes. I dropped one of my torches as I rode in, but it did manage to keep an elegant seat. As the crowd cheers, I tilted my head back and brought a flaming torch to my lips. Pablo! It was hot. I dipped the fire into my mouth, and at the moment, my eye alighted upon a familiar face. In the audience, it was none other than my master! Huzzah! I blew out a breath of fire, then waved my flaming torch wildly at Mr. Fogg. The audience hissed and stamped their feet in disapproval as I scrambled off the demon horse and ran to my master, who was looking particularly unperturbed by the disturbance I was causing. I was abducted, mister. I blurted by way of explanation. It is a little consequence. Come, we have lodgings to arrange and a journey to continue. We, Mr. Fogg, I agreed, counseling a hasty withdrawal from the ill-tempered glares of the circus performers and audience. That we do. I collected my pay packet and resigned my tenure after a single night. Well, how do I only have that? Like, shouldn't we have way more money? Sell this. I'm not going to any of those places. I don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Okay. Let's leave here. Why would we go to Manila? We can't go back. 14 days. Oh, I don't think we're gonna make it around the world. Okay. How can we not have... Was I just carrying all the money and I lost it? Let's go to the bank. Historic snapshot his ledger. Let's see if the bank can offer a good return for our time. I regarded the bank as we entered. We were roundly ignored by 10 minutes by the lackluster staff. Roundly. We want to make withdrawal, the manager asked. You may have to wait a day or two. Cannot afford a single day, I declare. We left the bank. We have insufficient funds, or we have sufficient funds, we must continue. How much is this? 4,000. We'll stay in the hotel. Maybe I can draw some cash somehow. I have like 14,000 pounds. We passed an anxious night with our 80-day deadline looming. Every sunset seemed to carry weight. I afforded my master every service. Please like me. Day 61, he murmured in his sleep, and we have not even yet halfway. I don't think we're going to do it. I really don't. Alright. Let's go. The Sugawara was an imperial Japanese steamship designed by French engineers and crewed by naval conscripts drawn from all 4 occupations. Captain Hirasu bowed slightly in greeting, and I gave her a bow in the same, which caused her to raise an approving eyebrow. "Welcome aboard," she told us as the crew raced about readying the ship for departure. "With God's grace, we will have a swift journey." And of course, I keep trying to do things to make him happy. I encountered Captain Hirasu on deck in the morning and noticed that she wore katana in a beautifully worked sheath. "That is a beautiful weapon," I said reverently. Having been swept away by the recent Parisian fashion for Japonism. Oh my god. Captain Hirasu ducked her head a little. "It is not a military issue, Gunto," she admitted. "It was a personal value to me." I made a sound of encouragement, but she did not take the cue to continue. "Ah well, there'd be time enough to get to know them better on our journey to Malaya." He hates me, he loves me. He hates me, he loves me. In the morning I saw Captain Hirasu praying at the little Protestant chapel beside the galley. I'm not going to disturb her. I slipped quietly away. French fire eater sensation Yokohama. Alright. Beardos hit the big time. Manila Harbor was a desolate, desperate-looking place. The Sugawara was a regal sight as she pulled up to the docks. The captain came to see us off, but more, I think, to ensure that we did in fact leave. Give us money. And I guess we entered. It was a modest fare, but well staffed, and we were ushered directly into an office. Well, a week is going to be too late. $1,500. Imagine not able to communicate with London first, but of course, 2 working days. We have some time to dispose of. Okay. Let's chill. This is the only way we can take. We arrived at the Spanish-governed Manila at most inopportune time. The city recently suffered the depredations of a major typhoon, and the efforts at rebuilding had been stalled by an outbreak of the dreaded cholera. Images of San Roque, a saint invoked against pestilence, decorated almost every building and vehicle, but to little effect. Infected establishments were burned daily by the sanitary board, with our hotel one of those casualties. We relocated to the river, a charming locale thronged by Filipino women in Mariah Clara gowns and men wearing the stylish Spanish camisa de chino. Concerned with the possibility of infection, I ensured that Monsieur Fogg drank only boiled water, as recommended by Jon Snow, wow. For the watch. Spoiler alert. I recommended by Jon Snow's article in the Medical Times and Gazette, going to the lengths of preventing him from eating any uncooked foods for fear of contamination. From our window I could see carts piled high with the dead being taken to the mountain to be burned rather than interred in a churchyard, which put me in a morbid frame of mind. It does not do to dwell on such matters. However, so I attempted to put the consideration behind me, but the city smells of disease and I'll be glad to leave. Another night. Another night, and the clock forever ticked upwards. What remained of the day, I attended to this douchebag who's really starting to piss me off. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, let's just wait another day. And then we'll have enough to take that. Our room was decent enough, but I was sure I would not sleep. Day 65, I attended to Mr. Fogg, providing with clipped mustaches with a dear wish he would have a comfortable night. Oh. Alright, bank. Give me money. We returned the bank and then we were ready to proceed once more. Let's go. In 2 days. Whatever, we gotta go. Let's. Hotel. One more night. Day 66. Before returning, then I forwarded my master every I engaged another guest in conversation. You know what? Screw him. To learn what I could, but obtain nothing but tips. Okay. Thanks for nothing. Let's go. What? Huh. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay. Let's depart now. Yeah, go! I have 22 bucks to our name. I'm the worst. We boarded the René Cristina Spanish airship, its gondola shaped to resemble one of the most famous Spanish galleons of the previous century, and is richly outfitted with Philippe hardwood furniture, Fijian silk curtains, or a lot of nice stuff. Our journey to Acapulco would last a total of 7 days, including a day stop to refuel in Hawaii. I was determined, and would be almost at the Atlantic. Within a short hop of home, my captain asked me a little of our journey. I shrugged, but not to. I explained we were going around the world. I'm not with interest. You should go to Panama if you can. I'm told there are some impressive new airships. Well, things like airships being built, if you can find them. Like airships? The Haitians have their own way of building things. You will see, perhaps. The Filipino crew spoke a mix of Tagalog and Spanish, all mixed in with Alaska's sailors' cant, which fascinated me, though I did not have the skill to understand it. Don't bother trying to learn it, the captain remarked in elegant Spanish. You need a sailor's heart to do so. Do you know what I asked? I am the captain of the ship you are traveling upon. You should hope I have a sailor's heart. I think you do. Giving me a smile in return, truly I meet the most remarkable people as captain of an airship. Oh, good. Cholera spreading on airships. Yay. A portrait of King Amadeo I hung in one of the relatively unused corridors of the gondola, from which I smiled as captain was only indifferent to which I was exploring in the hope of finding a secret or two. Clearly someone aboard was literally a closeted Christian. After dinner, the captain told me about Honolulu, where we would stop at the Morro. If I believed his telling, it was a giddy paradise, and I began to ache that we would not be stopping there. We spent, when we got captured by that woman, that really screwed us up. We spent the day tethered at Honolulu Bay as the crew deflated and refilled the airship, overhauled the engine, replenished our, I walked along the beach, the water so clear and blue it hurt my eyes. I could see sharks frolicking in the water along the bay, and a grove of tall, dark-leaved eucalyptus trees shaded the buildings in town. No, we were going to get on the airship and keep going. I was struck by an unrelated thought. The dateline. I have altered our watch. Did you think I might forget? My master was, of course, correct. With an eye such as his, it was unthinkable that we might cross such a detail. We had reached the point directly across from Greenwich. A whole extra day. Huzzah! I don't even care about helping him now. He's a jerk. I'll help him. I need his praise. The captain swapped the Spanish flag from the prow to Hawaiian colors. The Mexicans are not fond of us Spaniards since the Revolution. Spanish ships are turned away from port. Will they be fooled? It was a thin subterfuge, if it even deserved the term. It is a little game we play in the interest of trade. We send our Filipino crew members to negotiate for us, and the Mexican custom house adds a hefty surcharge to our taxes. We smelled the smoke first, and then the gunpowder sweetened by blood. Acapulco was just visible in the distance, wreathed in lightning flash smoke, and it was impossible to see what was happening, though it did not stop the crew from offering several dark, ominous guesses. Are the Spanish trying to retake Mexico? I demanded of the captain. King Amadeo hardly writes me informative love notes, he retorted before he gripped the brass-handled telescope swinging from his belt. He turned the crew. I need a volunteer to climb the rigging and see what is up ahead. I will do it, I volunteered. Even Mr. Fogg appeared to be pale by a shade of idea. The crew stared at me with a mixture of pity and awe as the captain wordlessly handed me his telescope, a pair of aviator goggles, and a red handkerchief. Wave the handkerchief when you are secure, and we will raise the ship to give you a better view. I took a deep and centering breath before I climbed up the hatch and grabbed onto the rat lines. The wind buffeted my face, and the roar of the twin and twinette engines seemed amplified behind the comforting curve of the envelope. I saw an endless, dizzying stretch of sky and the Pacific Ocean glittering far, far below. I retreated. No, going up. And managed to grip the foot rope with my toes as I swung out and away from the gondola. I was braced against the wheeling sky, an impossible drop by none other than my trembling hands and feet clutching the rope. I looked up and planned my route, measuring the distance between the knots, my acrobatic training. Okay, let's do it. Feeling rather buoyant with confidence, I felt in the moment as if I was born to climb airship. And the brown that I had clung, laughed and laughed, and I'm having a good time. Oh, airships battling each other. Uh-oh. French army is besieging Acapulco, I said, and then I fainted dead away. Classy. Good, let's sell it. The captain called the passengers' crew together for an announcement. We will leave the French to their business in Acapulco and head to... yeah, fine, let's go. Yeah, it's a detour, but let's do it. Boom. Slept under a tree. We'll have it. I just only spend the hours until daybreak, scratch my arms and legs for fleas. Oh, good. I have fleas. Yeah, we need money. We approached Panama City. We are English, I declared. The bank is only available to Haitians. My apologies. What about Panamanians? If you're looking back into a Haitian, you must hold an account. This... We're never going to get there in time. This sucks. This has just been a clusterfuck. We had, it seemed, no alternative. We took to the streets. Mr. Fogg had camel. I attempted to sing. We did our best to look to destitute. With 75 pounds. Yeah, I'm sure he does not like me. Great number of inhabitants emigrating to the gold rush. 49ers had left empty spaces, which were quickly filled by new immigrants, creating a multiracial polyglot society. I went exploring, see if I could find anything useful of our journey, and stumbled upon the construction of the Panama Canal. As I watched, a tall, sharp-eyed fellow in a pinstripe suit glared at me. You here to watch? My name is Berdo, I declared. I'm Gessner, the crew leader, and I don't allow any watching on my dig, he pointed. Get in. Oh no, I couldn't. I raised my arms to warm up. Really? Then get off my sight. How much do you pay? I raised a fist in reply. Okay. Shrugged and left. Ah, this sucks. They seem keen to talk. You made a good choice refusing the Haitian Devil, the official leader of the blaster crew, Pat. The machines drink blood. They are merely the machines, I waved away their superstition. Not magical in the least. You've not been here long. You will see. Where are you headed? Manzonias. I considered their offers. I headed back to my lodgings. Many who spent their days blasting through mountains could prove useful traveling companions. That's not even... Let's just explore. During the day, I strolled the street and waved at the Field Chevalier. He replied with some curious gestures, and the plan to leave was coming on apace. I looked further on, and I kept something quite different. A tall black woman overseeing one of the engineering sites who introduced themselves as Fashion. Ah, a visitor from France, she smiled lopsided. Have you come to take back your canal? It will not be easy. Madame, I greeted her, and shook her hand. Madame, we are travelers looking to journey onward. I am too traveling to... I have a little craft. What kind of craft? It's kind of a bird, but she is, you might say, injured. We're going around the world. How exciting for you, she replied, though I do not think she meant it, and her eyes were moving. Perhaps we could travel with you, I asked, when your craft is repaired. She looked at me through judging, interfering in the way. As I say, it will take some time to repair it, time and manpower. Name your price, I told her. She named a figure and made my eyes water slightly. Well, I will ask my master, I muttered and crept away. Very good. Okay, well, we're going to stop it there. And we'll continue next episode, because there's no way we're going to make the deadline for this. So, nonetheless, thanks for watching. If you liked, click like. If you really liked it, click subscribe. This has been Berdo.